This is Christine Brown, and while I have to listen to this podcast as my motherly duty, you have the choice not to. My sons sometimes say some naughty things when they're trying to be funny, but really, they're just being stupid. Do you still want to listen? Go right ahead. I am not your mother.
All right, welcome back to the Patriots Dynasty podcast. I'm your host, Andy Brown. With me today is middle brother Steve Brown, who gets no respect. Have you gotten any respect lately, Steve?
I get more respect than the goddamn Jets do, but they don't deserve it.
This is true. They don't deserve it. We are, for those who are new listeners, if there are any, we are the Brown brothers.
Oh, which game should I start with? How about 2004?
Hey, you never know. Maybe they just discovered us. Maybe someone, I don't know, found us tweet.
They were listening to that first fucking Bengals game, which is just a disaster.
Yeah, that was a rough one. I may have to redo that. But if you were smart enough and you started at this one, I don't know how smart that is either. I would go back and listen to the playoff ones because those are the games that matter.
This was a good game.
It was. It's a typical AFC East battle. But what we did was we're rewatching every game of the Dynasty era. We started in 2001, and we're halfway through 2004 at this point. This is 2004 week 7. Patriots playing at home versus the Jets. This is their third home game in a row, I believe. Weirdly. Oh. Yeah, it's one of those like strange streaks where they had 3 home games in a row.
Speaking of streaks,
absolutely. What is the win streak up to at this point, Steve?
I don't know. 21?
Coming into this game, it is 20. So they will leave, spoiler alert, with 21 wins. Most ever. And it also breaks the regular season win streak at 18, I believe. That's how that works. Breaking the record of, do you remember the team?
Is something with the Bears.
Yes. The Bears from 1933 and 34, which doesn't really count because they're playing against like mechanics and shit. So.
Yeah, that's not real football.
But the NFL only recognizes the regular season one and not the one with the playoffs.
I mean, let's think. It's in between World War I and World War II.
This is true, yeah.
Like, I don't even know if planes were a thing then.
They were close.
Yeah, but they were like, blimps were the way to go.
Yeah.
The blimps were the new hotness.
Ships is how you got around. That's how you got to the new world.
Yeah, how did you play at like different cities? Did you
took the train?
Horse-drawn carriage?
Sure.
We're gonna need 2 weeks. We got to go to the West Coast.
They might have had buses. Well, they probably didn't also have that many teams back in the 30s. That was before the AFL and NFL merged. So it's probably only like 6 teams back then. So winning a bunch of games against the same team, it's like playing like rec soccer, like the men's over 30 league, and going on a win streak there. You're playing the same like 6 teams anyway.
That's true.
So it's not as impressive as doing it in the age of salary cap and all of this.
Do you think this record will ever be broken because they lose next week and this is the last game they win? Which I'm grateful for because it's against the Jets.
Correct. Yeah, I feel like we've talked about this before, and I think it was a split decision between you, me, and Greg, who's not here this week.
How could that be a split decision if there's 3 people?
Well, we weren't unanimous, is what I'm saying. It's a split decision.
When are we ever unanimous?
Well, I think it was. I was hard against saying this will ever get broken, and I was saying it'll never be broken. Greg was, this will definitely get broken, and you were somewhere in the middle. So split decision.
I think it will. As always. Well, I'm going to switch firmly to Greg's side. You're outnumbered, outvoted.
You think so?
2-1. It'll get broken at some point.
I just think because it's any given Sunday, that being able to win
broken than like Tom Brady's Super Bowl championships and those records that he's setting.
There are definitely records that will not be broken. Yeah. I think, even passing records, if you look up
records or whatever, but like the winning of titles for one player.
Yeah.
Tom Brady's kind of got that locked up.
Especially since he recently I think it maybe even been today, talking about how he thinks he can play till 50.
No, I believe it.
Yeah, I would too. I mean, until he shows signs of slowing down, I'm just going to trust whatever he says.
I have him on my fantasy team now. I bet on him because sports betting is legal in Virginia now.
Oh, yeah.
So I can put money on Tom Brady. I never did that.
How's
I
it
never
feel?
bet on the Patriots because I'm already like emotionally invested. I don't need to be financially as well.
See, when I was doing like pick'ems and stuff, I would always pick against the Patriots every week. That way I either got the pick right or the Patriots won.
Yeah, I feel like I remember that being a strategy.
Yeah, just for self-preservation more than I didn't win many leagues.
I'm actually going to have a 150 NFL shop gift card.
Damn.
From one of the betting apps. So you just sign up and they give it to you pretty much.
Okay. What are you going to get with it?
What I can get. I don't know. We got to help me figure that out.
So this was a question that I actually had too before we get in this game. Only because I was back at our parents' house this week, helping Dad hang drywall on the ceiling, which good times. But I was in the basement and I stumbled across Greg's box of Patriots memorabilia. So I found, remember we talked ages ago about the Drew Bledsoe poster?
Yes. He sent
the 10 ways Drew Bledsoe will kick your butt.
So you have the original poster.
So I now have it. Yeah. It's at my house.
An image on the internet. I didn't know that was the OG poster.
Oh, yes. That is the poster.
From the Shrine Room.
Yep. So I found that. So it got me thinking all day today. Do you have a favorite piece of... We'll probably have to ask Greg this next week when he's here.
I'll definitely have a favorite piece.
A favorite piece of Patriots memorabilia?
No, I have one of hockey memorabilia, though.
Oh, okay. I think I know which one this is.
Bobby Orr picture I have.
Yeah.
I won an essay writing contest in 4th grade, and the prize was Meet Bobby Orr.
I mean, that's good motivation to write an essay, isn't it?
Yeah. I don't even remember what I wrote.
Doesn't matter.
Didn't matter.
Good enough to meet Bobby Orr.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know if I have one. I think I had. Oh, I had a signed Patriots hat that was signed by a bunch of players because they came and like some of the all the backups came and played basketball at the high school against like all the athletes of the high school and they just mopped the floor with them.
Right, of course.
But I won the raffle where I got to shoot from half court for like $1,000. Which I obviously missed because I was like 10.
And you're not even good at basketball now, and you probably weren't ever.
Right. Yeah. I still couldn't hit that, but I mean, at least I would have made it competitive now. But I got a hat signed by all of them, and I think the most famous guy was Scott Sequels at the time, the backup quarterback to Drew Bledsoe.
Sweet.
So, but I lost that hat. And then I got a Patriots shark tooth hat. You remember those?
Those things they're back. I got Greg one for Christmas a couple of years ago.
Yeah. And then that got stolen like the third day I wore it to school. I was heartbroken.
I still have Greg's starter jacket. I wear it all the time in the winter.
Yeah,
starter jacket. As a little kid. This thing is ridiculous.
Still fits you?
Yeah. It's maybe a touch short on the sleeves on me, but
yeah. Is it that like poofy one?
Dude, I have right here.
Show me. I need to see this because I used to have one like way back in the day, back in the Parcells era. It was like the pullover starter jacket, and I now have acquired something similar, but it has Drew Bledsoe on the back of it, which is pretty legit.
I'll send you a picture. I wore it to a Red Sox game.
Yeah, send me the picture and we'll post it on Twitter. See if anybody else has any cool shit.
And then ask for suggestions on what we should spend this gift card on.
All right, yeah, we'll do that. All right.
I looked for a Troy Brown jersey. There was not one.
No, yeah, that's a shame. But they do have the retro jerseys, though, don't they?
Has to be NFL shop, like NFL.
Yeah. But don't they? But I thought the NFL shop had. I know the Patriots Pro Shop has like the old like light blue with the stripes and the. I thought they had like it was like a Brewski and someone else, maybe McGinnis.
There was a Brewski one I think I saw.
Vinatieri, something like that. Yeah.
I'm after Troy Brown.
I know, yeah.
Or you can get like a custom one for $360.
Whoa, that's a lot of money.
No, I'm not about that life.
All right. Well, we'll find. We'll ask our listeners if you have any ideas. You can text the Dynasty Hotline 603 505-8043 and tell Steve what to spend his money on. Or if you have any bets that you think he should pick, a Mac Jones prop bet, perhaps, text us.
I like betting on the Patriots. I just told you that.
All right. Bet on Zach Wilson, then. That's not the Patriots. How many interceptions will Zach Wilson throw?
Yeah, over under Sam Darnold. I am about to fuck the Jets' life. They'll ruin him just like they did Sam.
I love it.
And
so
the quarterbacks before him.
So kind of like a mirror image of this current week's matchup where both the Patriots and the Jets are winless at 0-1. Back in 2004, week 7, this was actually the opposite. This was a battle of the unbeaten, both Pats and Jets at 5-0 coming into this. 2 of the last 3 undefeated teams in the league. Did you catch who the third one was?
No, I did not.
I believe the Philadelphia Eagles had won today.
Oh, yeah. In this game. Eventual opponent in the Super Bowl.
Correct. So some high-flying teams. And also the other team that we will see in the next episode are on their bye week this week. The Pittsburgh Steelers with rookie Ben Roethlisberger are sitting at 4-1. So not bad either.
Yeah, Big Ben was good out the gates.
Yeah. A bit more about this streak. They were talking about it had been 391 days since the Patriots had lost to the Redskins back in 2002. Beginning of 2003.
Yes.
The last time they had lost at home was the end of 2002. That's why I got that confused. To Chad Pennington and the Jets. Yeah. Some more things that had changed. Like this was kind of peak Boston sports weekend because last episode we talked about how the Red Sox were down 3-0 to the Yankees. Yeah. Things have changed since then in a week, and the Red Sox are now currently 1 game up in the World Series after having completed their comeback 4-3.
What a wild week.
Yeah. And they actually posted
the Patriots set the record for the most wins in a row.
Yeah,
that weekend. It's nice.
Yeah. Yeah. So they showed a stat thing before the game titled Good Times in Beantown. This weekend in New England sports, the New England Patriots 20-game winning streak, defending Super Bowl champions. Boston Red Sox World Series versus the St. Louis Cardinals lead the series 1-0. Game 2 tonight. And Boston College had just defeated Notre Dame the day before, 24-23 in a big upset. I think Notre Dame was ranked or something. So, good day to be a sports fan in New England. Which is a little ridiculous.
It's a good week.
We're just like, we're spoiled for professional sports in New England. Well, we haven't done this in a while. You want to give this game a watchability score?
Yeah. It wasn't a very watchable game.
No, it was not.
Maybe 2.5 Lombardis. Maybe, yeah, that's 2.5. Solid.
Out of 6. Yeah, I think 2 is probably as high as I would go. 2 Lombardis out of 6.
Because David Gibbons balls out.
He does, yeah. He does ball out. He finished with over 100 receiving yards, I believe.
He had 107, 5 catches, all for first downs.
It's not too shabby.
And they were talking about how every single catch he's had this year has been for first downs.
Yeah, and it was, I think, by the end of the game, it was because he did it in this game too. Every catch was a first down. So he ended, I think he's at like 22 or 23 on the season.
Like 25.
Something like that.
And they said that at the beginning. He said 20 this year.
Yeah.
Then he got 5 more in this game.
Oh, I swear, yeah. So, and I actually tried to look it up, but it's ungoogleable, I guess. I don't know. But I'm wondering how many the longest streak is of catches that go for first down. Because that could be a record that you're not going to break either, right?
Need it Tucker or something. He'll figure that out.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that. Full of good ideas today, Steve.
Got them all. That's all that barbecue did. Just, the meaty goodness.
There's nothing better than just like a slab of meat that you can eat.
Just as much as you want. Yep.
Just house and dead animal.
Givens is what I hope Nikhil will be.
Yeah. He's just, when he catches the ball,
He's
his fight for the extra yards reminds me of like a big Edelman. It's that same, like, I'm going to get this extra yard every time. I'm going to carry two guys to do it.
Yeah.
But he's also a physical specimen too, in David Givens. It's a big dude.
Man. This is the rewatching those games reminds me why I loved him.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. He was your favorite guy for a while, wasn't he?
Oh, yeah, by far.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Time of year when I was watching this and I was a little kid.
Oh, God, yeah. Yeah, because how old would you have been in 2004?
Don't make me do math.
I think I was 21.
And we were like 6 years apart. There you go.
So, yeah, mid-teenager. Perfect time. Of course.
But that was really the only like watchable part of this game.
Yeah. I mean, you could watch the first half because it takes about 30 minutes.
Yeah, super.
Because the clock didn't stop. They actually showed a stat right before the Patriots got the ball and were like running no huddle inside 2 minutes left in the half. Where is it? Both teams had 2 drives each in the first half, and they were averaging 7 minutes per drive. And the score, but before that was 7-6 Jets. It was rough. But then at the end of the half, Patriots in no huddle just go straight down the field and score a touchdown buried to Patton. 5 seconds left in the half. And that was all the scoring there was. There wasn't any more.
I mean, the second half it was a slog.
Yeah, lots of 3 and outs.
Bulls, people fucking not running the ball anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Either running back was having a great game.
Yeah, the only drive that had any promise was the one long one at the end of the third quarter where the Pats started at their own 9. And then Dillon had that huge run to end the quarter. And then Brady hit Patton to the 20, but then Patton got up and just like tossed the ball to the guy who was covering him. And they called taunting on him, so it brought the play all the way back. And I think it was like the next play. They tried to run a screen, and here's something we should talk about. They tried to run a screen play to the fullback. Only the fullback wasn't Patrick Pass like it normally is because he was hurt. So the backup fullback, who was it, Steve Brown?
Dan Klecko.
Dan Klecko, your nose tackle, number 90. He actually, the first play from scrimmage was a throw to Klecko out of the backfield.
Yeah.
Like they just love throwing to him. And then this was his second reception of the game. They ran a fullback screen to Dan Klecko, who got hit hard, fumbled the ball, and left the game and come back.
Yeah. He was big in this, like featured, I guess.
Yeah. It felt a lot like.
And he can move for a big man, but he just didn't have he's not used to carrying the ball, I think.
No, well, there was also one play
pick up that he missed too. I saw earlier.
Yeah. There was one play, the deep shot to Givens. I don't remember what it was. Down on the sideline, like he was lined up in the backfield as a fullback, and then he motioned out to like be a tight end. But then he obviously didn't know what to do on the play, so he just kind of like stood around like looking for somebody to block. Like first he turned around, looked at Brady, he's like, "Oh shit, it's a passing play," and then just kind of like ran around trying to find somebody to block, and there wasn't anybody. It's hysterical.
All right, I missed that. You got to put that on the site.
Yeah, I think it's the deep pass play. So if you find the deep pass play to Givens, you'll keep an eye on the fullback on that play because it was Dan Klecko before he got hurt. But yeah, it was rough. But you're now down to your third fullback, and at the end of the game, the Patriots are milking a 13-7 lead still, with 2 minutes left in the game. The defense just held the Jets to a stop on fourth down in your own territory. And they need a first down to be able to just kneel because the Jets are out of timeouts. And so it's 3rd and 1, I think it was. And so they're in run heavy. And so now the third string fullback is, who was it, Steve?
I don't know.
Richard Seymour.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they run like a.
I didn't notice Seymour in there.
They run an off tackle with Seymour as the lead blocker, and they pick up the first down by a couple of yards. with Seymour laying the critical block to spring Corey Dillon to get the first down.
I think Corey Dillon would have been denied even if he had missed his block.
It's probably true. Dillon struggled, I think.
He got better the game went on, though. That was one of those games.
Well, he did, yeah. He ran for over 100 yards in this game, but they showed the stats at the half, and he had 11 carries, 23 yards. So rough first half.
Those big backs, though, as the game goes on.
Oh, yeah. Patriots definitely warmed.
It was one of those type of games, though, and those can be a slog to watch.
Yeah.
It was close, though, score-wise, right?
Mm-hmm.
Jets had a chance. They had the ball inside the 20-ish, right around there. 4th and 10. And Chadwick just forced it to Wayne Corbett in double coverage like an idiot.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that was the thing. The Patriots, I mean, the commentators, who were they? Jim Nantz and Phil Simms. And they were mediocre. I didn't really listen to them. No complaints specifically. But they actually called out the fact that the Patriots on these critical 3rd and 4th downs were double covering Wayne Corbett on all those like important plays because they knew that's where Pennington was going to go, and it worked.
Yeah, Wayne Corbett was sweet.
I think he had one catch in this game.
Yeah, they doubled the shit out of him.
Yeah, and like to the point where they were leaving other guys open, and Pennington just like couldn't get off Corbett.
Well, you didn't see any of Rodney Harrison in this game because he's doubling Corbett, and they're not throwing to Corbett, so
right because of that,
cancel each other out. Yeah,
yeah. Just another one of those Bill Belichick underestimated genius things that you just take for granted after 20 years.
I agree.
It's like, of course he does that, but it's like, he's going to sell out to take away the one thing that makes you comfortable, and if you beat him with something else, congrats.
Yep.
But most of the time you don't.
They always say it's like one hand tied behind your back sort of thing. He just figures out whatever you do the best and tries to take that away.
Yep. So that and the next man up philosophy too, you saw in this with the fullbacks, you've got 2 defensive guys playing fullback and contributing. Like they're not just in there as filler. They're actually like a part of the game.
Yeah. I love a good fullback.
Yeah. And
I'm more of that in football.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure this is the season where you'll have Troy Brown playing defensive back too.
Yeah, you're right.
So they're just like this is
sweet. I forgot about that.
Being able to save those roster spots by having guys play both sides of the ball. Love it.
That's awesome. I'm excited to watch that actually. Troy Brown is DB. He gets
I can't wait.
Too.
Yeah. I think he ends the season second on the team in interceptions.
He's the man.
He has like 2 or 3. So it's like not even just he has like one lucky one.
That Chargers game is this year too. Right?
Which Chargers?
The one where he strips Marlon McCree?
No, that's not for I think it's 2006, I want to say.
Oh.
That's right before 2007 when they go on a tear, because that's still with the Rashay Caldwell and everybody.
All right, you want to do best and worst?
All right. Yeah. Did you want to talk about Curtis Martin first? Because he's your boy again, right?
No, I don't need to go all the way. We see so many Jets games.
Yeah, but this is the game where he broke a bunch of records. He leads the league in rushing. Yeah. He's gone over 100 yards in 4 of the first 5 games of the season. Doesn't do it this game.
Yeah.
But he moves to 4th all time in rush attempts in this game. Yeah, which is where he would actually finish.
Those records aren't nearly as impressive to me because they're going to be broken, and they have been, right?
Where
the 21-0 win streak is much more impressive.
I think you're less likely to see those.
Could be broken.
I don't think you'll see those rushing records broken anytime soon, because the NFL's so pass first now. You're not going to see a back run for.
Curtis Martin's way down the list now.
He's actually still. I looked it up because I knew you'd say that. He is. Well, I figured Greg would say that. He's 4th in attempts all time still. I think he moved up to 3rd, but then somebody passed him. I can't remember who it was. It might have been Frank Gore recently. He is 6th in rushing yards, total rushing yards, and 13th in rushing touchdowns. It's pretty legit.
Mm-hmm.
Never didn't have 1,000-yard season. Always had at least 1,000 yards rushing for the however many years he played. It's fucking ridiculous.
Plug and play.
Yep. Yeah. And they were talking about him in this game where he
sucked the entire time he was there too.
They did. Yeah.
I don't even think he went to the playoffs. Maybe he did a couple of times, but
I don't know that he did.
3, and then when Pennington was lit, and then they put him out there in the 4th preseason game and fucked up his hand.
Yep.
Yeah. This is him back from that surgery now.
Oops. Actually, I wonder if the Jets went to the playoffs this season. Because they would finish 10-6. So they were the other team from the AFC East that would go to the playoffs. And they beat the Chargers. They upset the Chargers in the wild card, 20-17 in overtime. And then lost to the Chiefs, not the Chiefs, the Steelers in overtime, 17-20. Which was one of 2 of the 4 overtime games that they would play this season.
And what happens to the Steelers?
I think we'll probably find out. I don't remember off the top of my head, but I bet we'll find out.
We'll find out.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So give me your best and worst then.
All right. I have a couple of bests.
Okay.
One being Tom Brady screaming for a timeout right in the ref's face.
Because the ref wasn't giving it to him quick enough.
Yeah.
He was like screaming at him.
Screaming.
The ref didn't give a shit though, did he? You're like, yeah, whatever, I'll get to it.
All of mine are referee themed for you, Andy.
Love it. Okay.
My worst before my best.
All right.
Is there's just a blatant hold on the touchdown for the Jets, like an end around run.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like just blatant. Feels like, oh, what a good block. And then because they're showing it over and over as a touchdown. And like, it's just so clear. And like, they have chances to be like, ooh, actually, I don't know. And they're just like, what a great block.
Yeah. That was Chad Pennington running it in.
Yes.
Yeah. Who they said that was his 5th career rushing touchdown, of which 3 had come against the Patriots, which is
James
strange.
Pennington the 3rd.
Correct.
Yes.
Not a real Chad.
Get it right, Andy. And then the best call the referees made all night was the 12 men on the field penalty for the Jets when the Patriots are punting.
Oh my
God.
God.
Them a first down.
That was so bad. Yeah.
It's 4th and 4 and they're putting 12 guys on the field and the punt
on a punt. Yeah.
It was early too. It was like first quarter.
It was the second play of the second quarter.
And we definitely scored on that drive too.
Yeah, because the next play I think was the deep shot to Gibbons that we talked about.
Oh, is this the one where?
Yeah. And then Brady got sacked on 3rd and goal and they kicked the field goal. That's the one where Klecko didn't know what he was doing. Yep. But yeah, that was so Jetsian.
Yeah. Just
Herm Edwards was
that's what I watched these
not
games.
Pleased.
Those moments are that I watch these games. I'm just like, you fucking idiots. Of course you do that, you stupid Jets.
You never see that. Like, of all the penalties on a punt, that's the one you never see. Is the 12 men on the field.
Even if you see it, do it when you have 10 yards to go, so it doesn't actually matter.
And even better,
definitely don't do it if there's less than 5 yards.
Correct. But even better was the punt return wasn't that good, even with the extra blocker.
No.
It was only like 4 or 5 yards. Fantastic. All right. So those are your best and worst then, huh?
Yep.
All right. Here's the best. The "Who's Your Daddy" chant at the end of the game by the fans.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
That was pretty good. Yeah. You could hear it. You could hear it in the background, like right in the 4th quarter, because like there was nothing going on.
Like you said, that's an excellent time to be a sports fan there.
Yeah. And there was a bunch of fans holding signs that were Red Sox related. We still believe. I remember that. That was my favorite.
Yep.
Another good one is they were talking about how the Patriots feel about the win streak, which I think we all know the answer to that. They asked Teddy Bruschi, I don't care. I just want to beat the Jets. Divisional game. But they were talking about how they see it as 21-game win streaks.
Yes.
It's so Patriots, so Belichickian. Silly.
Is that your best or your worst, Andy? Which category are you putting that in?
I'm going to put in the best, more so to annoy Greg if he listens to this.
Yeah, you debated that one though.
Yeah. It's a silly thing, but it works. So you got to get. It's like Rodney Harrison at this point, be like, oh, nobody believes in us, even though they've won 2 out of the last 3 Super Bowls. You know, it's like I don't know if you believe that, but if it gets you to the next Super Bowl, I'm all for it.
Right.
And my worst was going to be Chad Pennington having all of his rushing touchdowns against the Pats. We already covered that. So I'm going to give you another best just for you, Steve.
Ooh.
Well, actually, no, here's a good worst. The Jets. It's a Jets-related worst. This was the one chance that the Jets had to start 6-0 in franchise history because it had never happened before.
Ooh.
They have never started the season winning 6 games in a row.
They still haven't.
Right.
Correct.
Correct.
Nice.
So that was fun.
And they're not going to do it this year either.
Nope, they are not.
Lost.
So, yeah. So I'll give you one more best, and it was just watching Ty Law come in and make a tackle on a tight end who's like catching the ball in the flat is just.
He breaks down real well.
It's just, because the guys are always bigger than him, and he comes in like a friggin' missile and just absolutely obliterates the guy. Doesn't matter how big. It doesn't matter. I mean, because I think he did it last time we saw them play the Jets, where he did to Curtis Martin, who caught a ball in the flat, and he just like crushes the guy every time.
Yep.
And you always think of Ty Law as this like ball hawking interception guy, you know?
Well, he could do both. He could run, force, and he could.
Yeah,
has awesome ball skills.
Yeah, he could lay the lumber when he needed to.
Gilmore can do a pretty good job with it too.
Yeah, but it's not the same level as Ty Law, I don't think.
No, Ty Law's a beast.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think that was that pretty much covers this game.
I have a history note for you.
Oh, okay.
Actually, all right, a trivia question. Who was the coach of that Bears team that previously held the regular season win streak from
Dick Butkus? I don't know. No.
George Halas.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I should have got that.
Then they told that story about Belichick meeting him
in
the locker room as a little kid.
Yeah.
And congratulating him on his win. And he gave him a signed dollar bill to little Bill Belichick.
Yeah, because that's what he would do to the first person who congratulated him on a win. He would give that person a signed dollar bill, which is fucking baller.
That is sweet.
I'm going to start doing that. I'm going to start carrying dollar bills around. And the first time somebody congratulates me on something, or the first time somebody's like, "Oh, listen to your podcast."
Accomplish something for that, Andy. So,
yeah, the first person I ever see who's like, "Oh, congrats on your podcast. I listened to it. I love that thing." I'm gonna give him a signed dollar bill.
Okay.
So, I don't expect to be spending much money on that.
Okay.
Yeah,
we'll see in a couple of months.
Yeah, well, you know.
Tune in next week to see how much of a blubbering little bitch Greg is on the Patriots Dynasty podcast.
You thought I forgot about that. I had not.
Gotta get it out at least once.
Got to, yeah. So hopefully Greg joins us next week. If not, we might have a guest. But yeah, so we will ask if you know what Steve should spend his $150 on. You can text us or hit us up on Twitter. Or if you know who holds the longest streak of receptions for first downs consecutively. I don't even know how to word it to be able to Google that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's a tough stat to
possible first downs in a row.
Yeah, consecutive first down receptions. I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's more than that. It's like, yeah.
No, it is that
consecutive receptions that
go
for our first downs. Yeah, it's tough. But yeah, so if you have,
you're the biggest chain mover, dude.
If you have any information on either of those things, you can text the Dynasty Hotline again, 603-505-8043. Get at us, and we will. I don't know. We'll respond. That's what we do. We love talking this shit, don't we, Steve?
You do.
I love it. Yeah.
You do.
You love it too.
Yeah. You do all the effort. I'm just the talent.
Whatever helps you sleep at night, Steve. The talent, Jesus Christ. You're the humble one too, apparently. Oh no, you know what you are?
Sometimes a naughty boy.
But you are.
We all are, Andy. Come on.
This is true. All right. Until next week. What is next week, Steve?
Steelers game.
Man, it's the end of the streak, isn't it?
Yep.
Spoiler alert. Yeah. So I'm not gonna say I'm looking forward to it, but we'll get through it. We'll get through it together, Steve.
It's the first loss they've had in like.
I know, so I've forgotten how to deal with these. I've forgotten how to watch a game where they lose.
It's fine. You'll make it.
We'll see. I might just not watch it. I'll make you watch it instead. I'll make Greg watch it. He hasn't watched a game in a while.
Greg will watch it.
Sure he will. He has to start sometime. All right. We will see you next week on the Patriots Dynasty podcast.
See you later.
See you later.